My name's Alec Hawkins. I used to be broke, working the 9 to 5 with an undergrad and a graduate degree. And with some mindset changes and getting in proximity of people doing the thing, I was able to totally turn my life around. And now I own my own business and I'm making more money than I ever have, getting paid to travel around the world, making documentaries about the occult. So in this video, I'm going to help you create a plan so you can do the same. You can move away from this life of scarcity and work in a job you don't want to work. And you can move into clarity and understand what exactly it is you want. Because in this video, I'm going to talk about some tough stuff. You're either going to walk away from this video really happy and relieved or pissed off. And what I want to talk to you about is how you can learn to do anything. We've all heard of the 10,000 hour rule, and I'm sure you've heard it debunked time and time again. But why does this concept still exist, and why is there a need to continually debunk it? The 10,000 hour rule comes from the early 90s when, what's his name, Maxwell Gladwell, something like that. He was basically saying like, yeah, these violinists, if they practiced enough, they could become masters. And we love that kind of stuff. The steps to go through, the logical, if you just do this, you can get this. That's why you clicked on this video. Because you want me to say, hey, hit this button and boom, overnight. Or at the worst, you want me to say, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this third thing, and it's on like Donkey Kong. But unfortunately, this is not the case. According to some studies, practice only accounts for 18%, other studies 26%. You know in your heart what the truth is. In your heart, it just comes down to genetics, innate ability, and the people that you're surrounded by. That practice only makes great artists, great athletes better than they already are. That's why I'm here to help you learn, because I don't like the institution of education. They screwed it all up, and we allow it to continue to be bad. The institution of education, whether you're in pre-K or higher ed, is all about crushing creativity and traumatizing you with a to-do list. And if the 10,000 hour rule really was true, we would all be geniuses. But anyone who has spent time in school knows that they don't remember 90% of the stuff that they knew for a brief second. So how could that really matter? I mean, what, you're practicing like the same thing on the violin every day? Yeah, I guess it sticks with you forever, but you're eventually going to change and do different stuff. Deliberate practice is not the same thing as going to class and do this. Now go to your other 4 classes and do this and keep it all in your head. It's designed to keep you frustrated, and it just trains your brain. Oh, remember this just long enough for the test and then forget about it. My mission is to help an entire generation of people not go to college and instead learn and make money online. So a lot of people get confused. They go into college knowing exactly what they want to do, and there's so much going on. There's so many options, man. What I was lacking was clarity. Everything out there looks so good, so many great ideas. Which one do I do? And this has been a real struggle. I want to do all the things, but I've realized it's really hard to do a lot of things at the same time. Some people might have to just focus on the one thing and not do anything else until they finish that one thing. But things get done very slowly that way. It's really true. There was a man named Manly P. Hall. He was able to live as a lecturer. People paid this cat money because he read a ton of books all the time, esoteric texts, and he was able to synthesize this information and teach it to people at different spiritualist churches and Rosicrucian temples. And I mean, he kind of did exactly what I tell y'all to do. Learn what you're really good at and what people with a lot of money are willing to pay you to do. And that's how Manly P. Hall lived his whole life. And he was able to work on several projects at the same time. What he would do was, he might write on Atlantis all morning. And then once he got tired with that, then he would dictate to his assistant on the Knights Templar, whatever it was, drafting a new book. So he constantly had different projects to move towards. So perhaps you're a writer and you want to grow your personal brand. Work on that novel, work on drafting those pages, and then you could switch over to like, okay, now I'm on YouTube taking a tutorial on how Canva works. There's ways to do this, but you have to start to understand what it is you really want to do. Because it's very possible you think you want to do something and then you get up in it and it's not really your cup of tea. Imagine going to college to get a degree for a career, and then once you get it, you realize, oh man, I love animals, but being a veterinarian, I have to talk to people all day and I hate people. Yeah, that sucks. So the way that you learn any new skill is you have to see the relevancy. And if your attention gets hijacked like mine does, you may be aware that we follow our attention. That's how I've always gotten things done, even if I didn't realize it at the time. It had my attention. So maybe you have a hobby for a minute and you buy a bunch of stuff, but then that hobby goes nowhere and you move on to something else. Maybe you do that in your relationships. You may meet somebody, you're into the same kind of movies, you invite bro over and y'all geek out on some cinema stuff. And then it's like, oh, you lose track of that person and you're into something else. Even a lot of romantic relationships can be that way. Burn bright and burn out and on to the next novel romantic adventure. But perhaps you realize, no, I really want this. And I'm going to have to set up an account on Stripe to take payments from my clients because I know I want to start this business, but I really don't want to learn the software. Well, this is what you do. You think like, all right, do I really want this thing? Because if I want it, I'm gonna have to watch some YouTube tutorials. I might even have to pay somebody to get on a Zoom with me and walk me through it and do it with me. But if I really want this, this is what I'm gonna have to do. And then all of a sudden, it's exciting. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, I'm watching this YouTube video. I'm I'm learning because I'm about to set up a Stripe account so I can get paid, baby. Oh yeah, there's still some resistance there. But I promise you, you do this enough, you're gonna start thinking like your future self. So what would your future self want? Would your future self want to be sitting in the bathtub vaping, sucking down a White Claw, watching YouTube videos? Or does your future self pay for help if they don't know how to do something? Does your future self say, it's worth it to sit down and learn this? Commit to just losing track of time And today I'm going to learn how to do this because I'm so excited that I'm going to have my own business. And that business is me. You are the brand. All of these apps, all these platforms from Google to Facebook to Apple, they make it so easy. And the apps that are hard, you're going to have so much fun with those apps once you master them. And I know from experience, the apps and the platforms that frustrated me the most, where I was like, man, I just can't get this. I literally paid someone to get on Zoom with me and do it with me for me. And hell, I might do it again because it's been a minute. It's like, how did they do that? Shoot, let's just do it again. That might just be worth it. And then I feel so good when something that I told myself was gonna feel so bad, it was gonna hurt. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I could be taking a walk. I could be doing something productive, like walking around. It does feel really good. It feels really good to get that done. And then I'm thinking, shit, took me 2 weeks to do that. But it only took a couple hours, like at the most, a lot of the time. It only took a couple hours. Why did I wait so long? And you don't want to be saying that to yourself every 6 months to a year and a half. Oh, I finally did that thing. Why did that take so long? Come on, bro, you're going to die. You are going to die. So get excited. You're not going to have clarity until you start doing stuff. So start doing stuff right now so you can get clarity on, is this really what you want to do? Or are you just that silly person that's like, ooh, I like this. I like this right here. Let's see what this is about. Oh, this is the rest of my life right here. I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life. Okay, this is starting to feel like work. What's over here? That's most people. That's your competition. So I said at the beginning of this video that a lot of you would feel relief. And that's what you have relief to feel about, is that your competition is just as lame as you are right now, or worse, probably worse, because you've almost made it to the end of the video. So I know you're a real one. All right. So you haven't even started, most likely, and you're already doing better than your competition. And the other great thing that should give you relief is to know, yeah, you could practice, deliberate practice for 10,000 hours, ain't gonna do nothing if you're not the man, if you weren't born to do this, if this isn't your destiny. So that should make you feel good. There's someone out there competing with you. They're putting in the hours right now, and they'll never be you. They've got some weird mental thing where they've decided, like, oh, I've got to do this. I'm gonna record my album. I'm gonna write my comic book. I'm gonna write my collection of short stories. And they don't even really want to do it. And they're not good at it. It's just this weird thing along the way that imprinted on them. And they just decide 15 years ago it's something they want to do, and they still haven't done it. So they're still fixated on it. Now, why this video may piss you off is because you've got to make a decision. You've got to decide that the outcome doesn't matter. That you could be Mozart thrown in that pauper's grave with a bunch of other folks to be lost to time, no marker. You're not even going to see success in your lifetime. That's a very real possibility. Real ones don't care about that. Real ones just focus on, what do I get to do when I wake up tomorrow? Some of y'all may be getting up and making sandwiches for people tomorrow. Some of y'all may be getting up and making beds in a hotel room. But you still have a destiny. You still have a purpose, even if you're putting meaning on your 9 to 5. That's like negative, like, oh, well, I'm not good enough because I got this. Bro, show me the biopic where the rock star didn't have some shit job. I promise you, a patron could be like, here you go, bro. Write that novel. You got a whole year. This is enough money for a whole year to Harper Lee your ass at the typewriter and write your novel. I promise you, most of you, if that opportunity fell in your lap, you would not write that novel. In my experience, you know how I got things done? When time got taken away from me. Before going solo and starting my own business, I worked more than I ever had in my life because I heard some tough words that I took to heart, and that was you should be spending 60 hours working a 9 to 5 so you can make some damn money and fix your life, and then investing another 20 hours into your business. Those are scary words to hear. And the older you get, it's scarier. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. 2 years goes by like that. 5 years goes by like that. You just start focusing on that day to day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a goal. There's an end result that we want. But you make the end result right now. You make the end result right now. You may think that the odds are stacked against you. I'm giving you permission right now. You are an artist. You are a hero. You are a warrior. You are a king. You are a magician. You know what you are and what you were put here to do. And you're already that thing. Start acting like it. And the whole world will conform to your vision. But you have to have that mindset. You have to live as if it's already a thing. You have to live as if, man, I am the great warrior poet and I ride this garbage truck every morning and I see the woods, I see the driveways, I see the squirrels and the cats. You got this. You have everything you need to get started. You do the work. You might just get everything you ever wanted. And it's very possible that's what you're afraid of.